Welcome, everybody. Super excited you're able to join me today because today's topic is so applicable to all the people we work with, the people who watch these videos, the parents, entrepreneurs, leaders, aspiring leaders. Like, I want to talk about how we make you irreplaceable, and identify what's your signature gift, superpower that you have. Like, what's the one thing that only you can offer that's out there? And here's what I want you to understand. Most people like you, high capacity people, the parents, entrepreneurs, leaders, things like that. It's not that you don't lack talent, it's that you lack clarity. Here's the thing, you're probably competent in many different things, but still feel like you're replaceable. Anyone could step in and do this thing. And it might be you downplaying compliments that come your way as well, it was nothing, or you're seeing patterns that other miss, but you just assume it's obvious to other people. If any of that's familiar, then this video is going to be for you, because in today's episode, we're going to be breaking down how you can identify what your signature gift is, the specific transformation you consistently create that no one else can deliver in the same way. Because here's the thing I want you to understand. You are the only person with your combination of gifts, superpowers, and experiences, which means you're the only person who can make an impact in certain people's lives in the way that you can. And so the sooner we identify these things, we start working through it, the sooner you can make an impact in people who are waiting for you to realize that. It's not about discovering talent, right? It's just about seeing what's already there that's been there all along. So think about it this way. I already kind of hit on this as a bit of an example, but let's say you're sitting in a meeting and something about what's happening and being discussed has been stuck. It's been stuck for a while. The room feels tense, and you can almost see a solution immediately, but you don't say anything because you assume if you can see it, everyone can see it. So you stay quiet. Meanwhile, that might be something that people have been wrestling with for weeks. But for you, it's obvious, and so that means, I don't know, maybe it doesn't count. Well, gosh, that shows up in so many different ways for people. Or maybe, like I said, the biggest one I see from people is the when they receive a compliment for something, thank you. It's oh, it was nothing. Don't worry about that. Or maybe you valued you're valued for what you do, but you rarely you're rarely seen as being unique at what you bring as a part of that. You feel competent, even successful, but somehow you still feel replaceable as a part of that. So if any of that hits home to you, then stay with me, because we're going to unpack this today to discover how you can become irreplaceable. Now, everything we cover today is grounded directly in principles from the book that I wrote. It's called The Giver Method. All right, so if you're new to the channel, let me just introduce myself. My name is Jake Talbot. I'm the founder, author of The Giver Method. That's why this channel is called The Giver Method channel, right? Everything we cover today is going to be grounded principles directly from the book and/or our one-on-one coaching program called the Ignition Accelerator. I'll put a link to both of them down in the description. Right now, you can get this for as little as $2. I know the price is going to be going up soon, so get yourself a copy before prices go up. It's like the field guide for all the parents, entrepreneurs, and leaders out there to really step into their gifts and superpowers, make a bigger impact in their world, create more value for the people around them, have deeper, more meaningful relationships. I know that you can't just burn everything down and start from scratch. You can't just go move to the woods to find yourself, because I'm a parent. I've got 3 boys. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in that sea of cubicles as a leader. I've been down in the depths of darkness of frustration all the way through being a successful leader. And so I know that everything in here, the worksheets, exercises, everything you can go do are meant for people like you, so that you can do it in the messy middle where you're at right now. But if you need someone to guide you along the way, then that's why we have the Ignition Accelerator program. Like I said, the link to this, you can go to Amazon, look it up, Giver Method by Jake Talbot, or using the link in the description for it or the Ignition Accelerator coaching program are going to be down there below. Now, I work with so many people like you, parents, entrepreneurs, leaders, professionals, high capacity people is what we have to refer to you as, who are carrying something so powerful in you, but you downplay it. Because here's the thing, so many of you are so good at so many things. You just haven't clearly named what's the only thing you can offer in the way that you can. Like I said, if you're the only person with your combination of gifts, superpowers, and experiences, let's be extremely clear on that so that we can truly start to identify, this is the impact that I can make that no one else can, because here's what I've been through. Once again, I'm not talking about reinventing a new version of yourself, not chasing some different role that's out there, or being louder just to be impressive. No, let's identify what is your signature gift and learn how to actually use it in a way that people are yeah, that's the thing I've been looking for. Nothing here is going to require you to become someone else, to change anything about yourself in that sort of a way. It's about recognizing what's already there, what you already have, and just finally taking it serious and using it in the way that it's meant to be used. Now, quick note, because this matters. Some of you will run through these exercises and immediately start connecting the dots, which is great. I love it when that happens, and that's why I do these videos. But for some of you, maybe you understand the concepts, but you feel like something's missing. So I make all sorts of resources available to you. Number one, you can go follow us on social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, or here on YouTube under the username of The Giver Method. Go find us. go follow us, subscribe. You can go to thegivermethod.com, get on our newsletter list. You can go get it. I'll put a link in the description to a bunch of free resources you can go get that just go download them, use them. They're there for you. Guides, assessments, different things like that are designed to help you to unpack these concepts more and get you moving towards the right direction. Sometimes though, people need more than that, and so if that's the case, you understand the concepts, things are missing, well, then that's why we created that one-on-one coaching program. Like I said, it's called the Ignition Accelerator. It's a 90-day coaching experience where we don't just talk to you about your gifts. We actually are going to systematically uncover what they are, refine them, and build them into into real life, the life that you're already living. I'll explain more at the end. We'll dive deep into that. If you haven't done already though, please subscribe to this channel, ring that bell for notifications, like the video, comment your thoughts as we go. And of course, some people watching this, maybe you've got a stage, a podcast, an event, an audience where this message would resonate with your people, then there's a link down below as well for that, where we can book a time to talk about how we bring this message to your people. I love showing up for other people and delivering that sort of value. But like I said, that's all. We'll explain anything else beyond this at the end. For now, you don't have to commit to any of that. Just stay curious, stay with me, because the reason that you haven't clearly seen your signature gift yet, it might not be what you think. It might be closer than you think it actually is. So let's start. I'm going to cover 4 principles. As I do, I'm going to walk through each one. I recommend you grab yourself a piece of paper, a pen, and open up the Notes app on your phone or whatever, and because I'm going to ask you to jot things down along the way. Because the thing I've found, and science backs this up, the way you approach and when you write things down a certain way, when you fill in a blank, when you journal, when you say things out loud, when you do some reflection in it, it actually reprograms your brain faster for what you're trying to do. It helps you to uncover the things you're looking for faster. So grab a piece of paper and a pen. Open up a Notes app, be ready, because we've got 4 principles that we're going to go through. Each one's going to have some action items you could do today. All right. So the first one I want to cover is called gift blindness, and there's actually a gift blindness assessment, a worksheet you can go get in the description as well. It's a free resource you can go get. But first principle, gift blindness. You're way too close to see it, and gift blindness, you're once again you can't see the problem from the label from inside the bottle, right? You're inside the bottle. Your ordinary, though, is other people's extraordinary. And something this might sound so simple to some people, but it explains a lot. You do have a signature gift, and there's a really good chance that the people around you see it way clearer than you do. Not because you're unaware, not because you're missing something, but because you're living on the inside of that life. It's like trying to read that label from the inside of the bottle. You can't do it. You can stare at it all day and it still won't see what everyone else is seeing instantly. So, if you're performing, high capacity person, a parent, leader, entrepreneur, dependable employee, the reason this matters is because gift blindness is one of the biggest reasons you feel replaceable, even when you are valued by other people. You are useful, but you're not sure what makes you uniquely useful. And here's what data shows, and this is why this matters so much. There's tons of research around gifts and strengths and leader. So leaders were asked. There's this one of my favorite studies I read up on was they went around a room. They had a bunch of leaders for a company in a room. And they said, hey, everyone, I want you to grab a piece of paper. I want you to write down, what are you the best at? Create a list of the thing that you're the best at. What are you better than everyone? And everyone wrote down their ideas. And they went around in the room and they shared, well, I'm this, I've got this, and they're like, cool. When they then turned to everyone else in the circle at the table, to their peers, and they said, hey, what is Jake the best at? Those same people, the leaders in the room were identifying 4, 5, 6 different things consistently. And so there's a gap there. And that gap isn't humility. It's just it's not that you're being too hard on yourself. Once again, this is a proximity thing. The thing you do best feels normal to you. So you assume it's normal to everybody. Gift blindness, what that looks like in real life. Think about it this way. You might think you're just there, in your role as a parent or a manager or whatever, but your presence, let's say as a parent, it creates safety and calm. It changes rooms. Its steady energy helps everyone else breathe a little bit better. Let's say that you're a leader. You might think you're just I'm just doing my job, right? But you're the one who can simplify the chaos and make decisions that feel clear. You can help people move again. As an entrepreneur, you might think your best gift is I just work hard. I got my thing I go do. No, but deep down, that parts that actually light you up when you simplify and coach and clarify and create, not the administrative tasks behind it. As an employee, you might literally see the pattern, the same real issue, and see a better way, but you stay quiet because you assume, if I can see it, other people can see it, or I don't want to be judged by my thing, then put out well, here's the thing, they can't see it. Your voice, it matters there. It shows up. So let's talk about how we make that practical. Let's actually identify, okay, well, if I've got gift blindness, let's make this more real. So the first thing is like, catch yourself when you ever use like a version of the it was nothing reflex. If you think about like the last time somebody maybe thanked you for something, you know, they appreciated you, they're like, oh my gosh, this helped so much. Like, what did you say? Was it something like, oh, it was nothing, or anybody could do that? Hey, I was just helping. Hey, it's just who we are, which is what we do. Not because you're just trying to be polite, right? This is gift blindness showing up. Like, because if it truly was nothing, they wouldn't have thanked you for it. If anybody could do it, they wouldn't have come to you for it. If it was just helping them, why did they specifically need you to do it? And so write it down. Someone thanked me for blank, whatever it was. And then I dismissed that by saying or thinking blank. You know, that's how you start collecting evidence of the things that you've been dismissing. That's like, wait a second, I've been doing this for a long time. And then the next thing to think about is like, you use the easy to me test without disqualifying the thing that's easy to you. And this part is really big. Like, if something feels easy to you, your brain tends to label it as not valuable. But that's so backwards, because easy for you is often a clue. Not because like it takes no effort, but because like it's natural, it flows, it's clean, it's you, it's authentic, it's part of who you are. So ask like, what do I do naturally that I assume is normal? You know, things that feel easy to me are, write this down, like they are blank. They aren't random. They're candidates for what could be this you know, signature gift, this signature superpower that you have that no one else can provide. And then the next thing is like, notice what other people struggle with that you solve fast. You know, and so this is how you start to confirm. Like, pay attention to what people get stuck in. You know, do they regularly like, you know, help people go from like, you know, confusion to clarity? Is it calm to, you know, chaos to calm? Is it stuck to moving? Is it overwhelmed to capable? Like, you know, and you do it in a way that feels almost obvious to you. There's that gap there is between like how it feels to you and how it lands for them. Like, that's a signature gift. Like sitting there being like, hey, right here, I'm ready to help you. Let's make this be a superpower. Let's really start to ignite this and make an impact for people. And so you can write that down. Like, write down, okay, I do blank, whatever it is, easily, and I notice others struggle with it. And then the next piece is like, stop trying to solve an outside mirror problem with inside mirror tools. Let me be clear on that. Like, you'll clear that up a little bit. Because if we're honest here, you can do journaling prompts, strength tests, reflection exercises, you know, every single one of them in the world, and you're still going to miss your signature gift, because proximity blindness isn't a motivation issue, it's a perspective issue. You need outside mirrors, not hype, not generic like encouragement, like real specific reflection from people who say like, man, here's what you do that helps me so much, that changes things for me. Here's what you do that feels normal, but like it isn't normal for me. Here's what you know, I would miss if you weren't here. And so write that down. Like, okay, I accept that I need outside perspective to see my signature gift clearly. Like, just accept it, because that alone is going to help you to pivot. You know, that a lot of people don't ever get to, because if you don't understand gift blindness, you're going to spend years dismissing the very things that make you irresistible, calling it nothing special. Anyone can do it. Like all those, like, but once you can see it, you stop trying to force clarity or introspection, and just like you start collecting evidence and listening differently and naming patterns. Like, now these things jump out to you more. Same time, if you want to grab that gift blindness worksheet down in the description, you can do that as well. Now, the next thing, the second principle, is like, you don't just like, it's not just about what you do, but how you do it. Like, this is I often refer to as the signature gift formula. And so this is where we start to make whatever the thing is we're identifying your signature, more than just like what you're good at. It's a little bit deeper, because like a lot of you are sitting there thinking like, okay, I get it. I probably have some kind of gift, but like, so do a lot of people. A lot of people can do this same thing, calm the chaos or simplify a problem. Like, exactly. Other people might share your raw abilities, the skills behind that, but nobody delivers it in the way that you can. You are the only person with your combination of gifts, superpowers, and experiences. So you're the only person who can deliver it in the way that you can. That's the difference between good at something and being irreplaceable. You don't just have a gift, you have a signature, and a signature is so specific. So like the you know, you're good enough communication isn't enough. Like, why that's so important? Like, because if someone tells you, man, you're really good at communication, right? That sounds nice, but that doesn't help you build your life around it. There are millions of people out there who are good at communication, you know, but being organized, you know, being strategic, encouraging, blah, 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 like fill in the blank. Like, that's surface level stuff. That's the raw material, the raw skill. But your signature gift lives deeper than that. It is the intersection between a couple of things, 3 very specific places. Number one, like what comes naturally to you. You know, how your life like shaped the way you express it, and like who your like version actually helps. That's that unique combination of gifts, superpowers, and experiences all combined together. What is it that the raw skill, the natural thing that comes to you? Okay, that's number one. Your experiences that shaped you, good, bad, everything in between. And then who's that meant to help now? Even those three, like when they overlap, like that's where this irreplaceability shows up so much. So here's what I want you to do. The first thing, like we're going to do for this formula. Part one, we're going to identify what comes naturally to you. So start so simple. What do you do that feels like breathing? Like not because you trained yourself to do it, but like not because you got promoted for it. Like what just because that's how you've done it. You see patterns in chaos. You calm people down when things are loud. You break complicated ideas into clean and simple things. You encourage people in a way that makes them move. You make questions that, you ask the right questions that unlock clarity for people. Whatever it is, that's the raw gift. So write that down. Now the first piece of this, like if I'm gonna draw like a Venn diagram of 3 circles, it'd be like, cool, number one, my raw gift is blank. Don't overthink it, just start messy. And then the second part is going to be, okay, well, how your story shaped the way you do it. And this is where it gets really powerful, because 2 people can have the same gift of encouragement, but the version that shaped you by what you lived, that's what's different. Maybe you encourage by people, like reminding people of like a specific proof from your own story. Maybe you create structure because you grew up in chaos and you know what it's like to crave stability. Maybe you simplify decisions because you lived in the pain of like that paralysis of too many options. Your experiences shape your delivery. That's what makes it yours. So write that down. Like, the way I do this was shaped by blank. You could write those down, and that's going to be your top circle, like, the next circle of the Venn diagram. This is where your humanity becomes the differentiation as a part of that. Now, the third part of this, okay, who actually needs your version? And this is where, like, most people stay very broad, and we want to get very specific here. You're not called to serve everyone. You're wired to resonate with someone specific. If you're a leader, maybe your gift is helping overwhelmed executives cut through the noise. If you're a parent, maybe it's the gift of create safety for your kids and with steadiness. As an entrepreneur, maybe it's your gift of is for founders who are drowning in scattered priorities. As an employee, maybe it's you have the gift that your team finally sees what the real issues are. Like whatever it's, the more specific you can be, the more deployable it is. And so you write that down, like where it's like, okay, well, people who need my version are blank. And maybe you need to think on it a little bit. Maybe you need to practice a little bit. Maybe you need to pressure test that with some people. Like but figure out who those people are, because then you put it all together. My signature gift is blank, and I deliver it through the lens of blank by serving blank people. So like here, without the blanks, like, hey, if my signature gift was creating strategic clarity, and it's delivered by simplifying like the overwhelm into 3 clearly visible options and trade-offs based off the fact that I've been through down a path where there wasn't clarity. But serving entrepreneurs who are paralyzed by too many possibilities, that's who I want to impact. Like, oh my gosh, that's not vague. That's not generic. That's usable. Now, whatever yours is, write it. If you need to pause the video and write it out, like do it. Like, don't wait for the perfect version. Just draft it. Like, get everything. Because, like, here's how things change when it comes to that. Like, well, I'm good at this. I'm good at communication. Like, well, you stay replaceable. But when you're like, man, I help overwhelmed parents move from scattered chaos to calm capability by creating a simple, like, visual system that they can maintain in their own lives. Wow, now you know exactly what you do, how you do it, who it's for, like, and this is applicable whether it's for business or your personal life. Like, that shows up different for people. It's so powerful. Now, the third of the 4 principles I want to cover, you have to follow the shift. It's like a forensic exercise, right? Your gifts, if you're unsure what they are, they leave evidence behind. You just haven't been tracking it. So how do we spot those gifts through these transformations that happen? And so I want this to be as practical as possible, because a lot of you might be thinking like, okay, this all sounds good, but how often do I actually see my gift? And the truth is, like, your signature gift is not random, and it's been showing up like over and over in similar ways for people. Like, you just haven't realized it. You haven't been tracking it. And so, like, if you're like the type of people who work with these high capacity people, like, this is so true for you. Like, you help people, you solve things, you move on. You don't pause and say like, wait a second, what just happened there? So your gifts keep working quietly in the background while you stay unaware of the pattern that's there. So, like, let's change that. And so when I say, like, you do that through these micro transformations, like, don't think about terms of tasks. Not I did it because in this meeting, or I gave advice, or I helped someone. Like, that's surface level. Think of it in terms of like a shift that happens. Did someone walk in confused and they're leaving clear, overwhelmed and leave steady, stuck and moving, doubting themselves and leaving confident, whatever? Like, that shift is the fingerprint of your signature gift. Not what you did, but what changed. What was the outcome that happened? So start to, like, what I want you to do first thing here is start to gather evidence. Like if you think of like 5 moments, right? Like where we're going to create a forensic exercise, like, folder for, let's say, like, think about the last month. Think of 5 moments where someone thanked you for something, not vague appreciation, like specific moments, and write that down. Like what they thanked me for was blank. What changed for them was blank. Hey, they came in with 7 options and no clarity. They left with 3 clear paths to make a decision and a decision framework to go make that decision. Not I had a conversation. That's confusion to clarity. You do that 5 times. Don't overthink it. Just capture what shifts happened. And then the next thing is like you find the repeating like before and afters as a part of that. If you look at those examples and you look at what's repeating, is it consistently helping people move from like a chaos to calm, or scattered to focus, doubt to belief, complexity to simple? Like the repetition isn't random. That's your signature gifts that have been operating on autopilot. Think about if you took control of it, what you could actually do with that thing. So write down, like in most of these moments, I help people move from blank to blank, and now we're getting somewhere. And the next thing is like if you start to notice who keeps showing up in those moments, like who are the types of people that show up, not the names, like, but the type of struggle. Entrepreneurs drowning in priorities, parents feeling like they're never doing enough, leaders like who like know what to do but can't get in alignment, employees who feel seen, unseen, and stuck, like whatever. Like there's usually a theme. So write that up. The type of person who consistently needs my gifts are blank. Now things are getting even sharper. And then we start to turn this evidence into a clear statement. If you combine it all together, once again, so it's not vague, it's not fluffy, it's very clear. Like, okay, I help these people move from blank to blank by doing that. Like I help overwhelmed entrepreneurs move from scattered priorities to focused strategy. That's not guessing. That's 5 pieces of evidence with like the same pattern, the same type of person, the same type of shifts. Like, wow, that's where signature gifts are in action. We can start to really utilize it more because we know what that thing is. Most people think discovering this gift requires some massive breakthrough or deep soul searching or reinvention or finding something new, creating new tasks. Like, no, like these things are just, they're hidden in who you already are. They're ready to be used in your future. You just have to go take advantage of them. You have to be specific of what they are so you can figure out what those things are. Now, the 4th principle I wanted to cover is like, you take your gift with you. So how do we translate that into what I call within the book, like, so the V in the Giver method stands for vivid value. So like, stop leaving your best self in one room. Make your gift deployable to everyone. And so like, if you identify what your signature gift is, and now then the question becomes like, that changes everything, is like, well, are you actually using it everywhere, or are you only using it tactically in certain situations, certain rooms? Because this is what most people who are in your scenario like do. Like they use their gift at work, and then they go home and they switch into parent mode or spouse mode, and they just try to survive the day. As entrepreneurs, this happens to them a lot, because it's like, well, I started my business because I'm good at that thing. It's like, yeah, but how do you use that in your day-to-day life? Like sometimes racking your brain on that is difficult. Like it's different rooms, different versions of you, but your best stuff like is staying siloed for some reason. But your signature gift isn't a title, a job, a role you're playing. It's not a professional skill. It's you. And if it's you, it should travel with you all day long. So like that's where the role trap, people fall into, and it's so draining. If we call it what it is, like you're in employee mode or parent mode, leader mode, friend mode, and if you're not careful, you end up performing in roles instead of deploying your gifts. And that's when you start feeling drained. Like if you're a leader, you might be great at executing tasks, but like not actually using your gift of clarity, for strategic, simplification or anything like that. Like as a parent, you might be like managing logistics all day, but not intentionally bringing your steady grounding presence to the moments that matter. As an entrepreneur, like you might be operating your business, but not using your gifts that made you start it in the first place. These are the role traps. You're competent, productive, but you're tired. And so your signature gift, it transcends all of those roles based off that, and you want to find the ways to consistently use and create with what you have. Your gift, is portable. And so that's the shift. Like your core gift stays the same, just the application changes. And so let's say your signature gift, I help overwhelmed people move from chaos to calm. Like, well, great. At work, I'm clarifying team priorities. At home, you're building systems that make help your kids feel capable instead of, chaotic. Like with a friend, you're breaking down some sort of stressful transition they're in, into manageable steps. Like whatever, it's the same gift, you're just using in different settings. So let's unpack that. How do you use your gift in different settings? So the first one, lock in your core shift that we talked about. I help people move from blank to blank. That's the anchor. And so if you write out, my core vivid value is I help people move from blank to blank. That's like the through line. And then translate it across your life. Take that one statement and like, how does it show up in different, like, ask yourself, like, well, at work, how does it show up? At home, with friends, if I'm by myself, write that down. Because when you see all 4 domains, something clicks. You realize, like, this isn't just a skill I use occasionally. This is how I move through the world. And then, like, notice gift mode versus role mode. Now this one can be really big for people because, like, there's a difference between gift mode and role mode. Gift mode, like, you feel aligned and energized, and it can be challenging, but it's clean, right? If it's a role-based mode, it's forced, it's draining. It feels like you're performing, not contributing. So throughout your day, ask, like, am I in gift mode right now or role mode right now? And if you're spending most of your time in role mode, like, man, you're going to feel replaceable. You're going to feel burnt out. You're going to feel drained in energy. But when you're constantly using gift mode, you feel engaged. Not because the workload has changed, but because you're using your best self as a part of that. And then the next thing is create a daily gift touch point. If you want to really make it the most practical way possible, don't wait for your gift to randomly appear. You're going to create one intentional moment every single day. If your gift is creating clarity, then you're going to find one person to give clarity to and offer 15 minutes. If it's steady presence, choose one conversation where you're going to show up grounded instead of rushed. If it's strategic thinking, help someone simplify a decision, whatever. Like, just one touch point per day. That's it. After 30 days, if you did that, you have 30 pieces of proof that your signature gift that creates real value for the people around you. That's the kind of evidence that changes how you see yourself as a part of that. And most people, like, they know they're good at something, but they keep it trapped in one lane, occasionally using it, or context specific, underused. Like, when your gift becomes portable, part of you, just something that just naturally comes out all the time, like, that's when shifts happen. You stop being, like, good in certain rooms, and you become the person that consistently creates the kind of value wherever you are in the way that only you can. And so as we bring it all together, like all 4 of the principles and everything, like, you're likely here because you've been dismissing what comes naturally to you. Like, you're competent at a lot of things, but you feel replaceable. And there's more, like, in you, but, like, you can't quite name it. And so I want you to hear this clearly. Like, the signature gift is already there. You're not missing it. It's not underdeveloped. You're just not, you've been standing too close to it to see it. Now, for some of you, the stuff we covered today in this video is going to be exactly what you need. You go run a forensic exercise. You track your thank you moments. You spot the shift that, and start creating that consistency. Like, if you do that, that's real progress. That's where clarity starts. I'm so excited if that's you. Some of you may need a little bit more support. And that's why I provide so many of the free resources that are down in the description. Like, there's links you can go click out to those different places. That's why I say go follow us on social media. That's why I say, hey, right now you can get this book, The Giver Method, that covers all this for as little as $2 on Amazon. Go get a copy. I promise you, it changes your life. Get a copy for someone you know. But others, like, even with all that, like, you feel it, right? You understand this gift blindness concept. You see patterns, but you're thinking, like, yeah, but I still can't see mine clearly what my thing is. It's not a motivation issue. Like I said, it is a proximity issue, and proximity doesn't get solved with more, like, introspective things. No, that's why we created the Ignition Accelerator program, so that we can walk you through one-on-one these processes. This 90-day one-on-one coaching partnership and experience where, like, we act as the external mirror for you. We help you uncover what you've been dismissing. We've helped you go from confidence to a signature-based thing. We look for those we help you to translate those things and build it into daily practices so that you're not just aware of it, but you're using it all the time, and that you can consistently grow and make a greater impact, the impact you're wanting to make. Because when you do, the universe will always pay you back. And so we walk you through the program and install everything you need so that you move from like I'm good at a lot of things, but I feel interchangeable, to like, no, I know exactly what I offer and I'm deploying it everywhere, and I'm the only person who can do it in the way that I can do it. Not because you became someone new, but because you finally saw what's been there all along. And so we do that in that coaching program. There's one-on-one coaching sessions, there's exercises and assessments we go through with you to make sure that we unpack all this. We actually help you translate that vivid value for how it goes out in the world, and like long-term tools that make this thing be something that it's not just a 90-day spike, it's something that becomes the way you live. And let me say it clearly, like, you may not need that. That's fine. But what we covered today, or the book, or the free resources might be the thing you need. Go ahead and do that. That's incredible. But if you are tired of feeling replaceable despite being capable, or you're ready to stop performing in roles and start deploying a signature gift, you want the external mirror that reveals proximity that's been hidden, then check out that link below, book a discovery call, and if it makes sense for us to move forward, we'll move forward. If not, then I'll point you in the right direction. Either way, I'm glad you chose to be here, because this, it resonated with you, and it means a lot. It means something that you already know. I mean, you're built to contribute in a way that no one else can possibly replicate. Your gift isn't waiting to be invented, it's waiting to be named and given away. And so, like, let's go do that. Of course, hopefully before you go, drop a comment for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, all that stuff. But like, comment, like, what's something people consistently thank you for that maybe you brush off as nothing? Just one. That might be the thread that starts to change things for you. This is where confidence becomes contribution, where your ordinary finally gets recognized as what it truly is, extraordinary, so that you can step out into the world and make the impact that only you can make based off of the fact that you have this combination of gifts, superpowers, and experiences. Thank you so much for choosing to be with me today. Check out the other videos on the channel. Check out thegivermethod.com for additional resources. Check out the links in the description, and hopefully we'll catch you in one of our upcoming videos. Have a great rest of your day.